We're back, guys, with some more Need for Speed Heat. Hopefully you've been enjoying the content. Yesterday we posted about the character customization, and you'll actually notice that the character in the corner is the same character that Corey made. Anywho, we're customizing the Porsche today. As you probably know, if you're a subscriber, a longer-term subscriber, more than a week, I would say, you will know that Porsche is not particularly my favorite brand. And the reason is, it's usually pretty subtle. It's more of a gentleman's club. But Need for Speed changes that because obviously, don't get me wrong, the cars handle amazing. But I like to spice them up a bit, and usually Porsches don't let you spice them up a little bit. But in Need for Speed, Porsches can be spiced. Anyway, so this is a nice 911 that's going to be customized in a way that personally I'm quite appreciative of, because I didn't actually do the customizing of this car. It was Corey, my writer for the website, if you didn't know. But anyway, it has a wide body kit and it looks absolutely fantastic as we get to the side skirts here to show you that it bulks out even more. And then to the rear fenders, which is probably my favorite piece. It just looks fantastic. Changing the lights a little bit, putting a tint on it, but keeping the red stripe. I usually go for the middle style light tints, but here we go. This is the important thing. Look at it. Do you understand? Do you understand the size of the wang? The wang is huge. It's magical. It's beautiful. The wings are in full force. The wangs are in full force. There's a difference between a wing and a wang, and these wings are wangs. I'm sorry. I'm scaring you off before you've even sat here. So, essentially, these are new wings that are available in the game, throughout the game, not just on this Porsche right here. If you have the 180SX customized on Need for Speed Heat Studio, you will see that these wings are universal among multiple different vehicles, which is fantastic news. More wings overall. I cannot wait to see what cars these wings are going to appear on. Are they going to be on GTRs? Possibly. Are they going to be on other old, rusty, smelly Japanese cars? Possibly. We shall see. Now, I noticed that all the exhausts on this Porsche are Speed Hunters brand ones. I don't think I've ever paid attention to the brand of the exhausts, but it looks like Speed Hunters apparently now make some part, you know, Speed Hunters are, they're just an automotive community magazine. I wouldn't say magazine, but community. And essentially, they're funded by EA, so that's why you see a lot of them in this game. Now, we do a little bit of lowering, a little bit of camber, which is something not normally would go with, I would go with a build. But every now and again, I surprise you with a little cheeky bit. So, paint, one thing to note is in this current build, if you press square, it changes to bigger steps. I don't know how that's going to change later in the game. Obviously, this is the large flake paint. You can clearly see the large boy flakes. The nice blue paint is what we ended up with, which I very much approve of. Red and blue are basically the colors of every single car I ever make. So I would have approved for either of those colors, to be honest with you. Cheeky Black Panther sticker, by the way. I sell those as a store link down below if you want to check them out. And we're nice and saved with the Porsche. And I've got to say, it sounds great. Porsches always sound good in Need for Speed. Porsche had an exclusive deal with EA for the longest time when it came to licensing their cars. And obviously we can make it sound even better with a cheeky bit of exhaust tuning. Extra throaty noises. Extra rawness for the pops. That's basically all you need to get done. Right, this is a race that you may have seen some of this race, but it's more of the later on part of the race that you may have already seen. But I wanted to show you how this thing handles, because as I said, overall, we're going to be doing a video literally dedicated to handling very soon. But this is going to be me talking about how this car handles, because I did actually drive it myself in the daytime on standard form. This obviously is a little bit more modified, but it's only visually. Handling wise, I'm going to give you a review of it as stock. Now, most of the time you're not going to drive car stock in this game, but I can tell you that the 911 is a fantastic car to go with if you want to do a little bit of sliding, but controlled sliding. I think it's going to be the same with a lot of Porsches because of how the Porsches are set up. Porsches are very handleable. Very easy to turn, very easy to regain control, regain the reins, if you will. And it's a very good car to just kind of get going in. For example, the best car of all of the cars that we've spoken about thus far on this demo was the GTR. The GTR is all-wheel drive, it handles well, it pulls well, it sticks well, it grips well. It is more focused on grip than it is drift. And I feel like the Porsche is a little bit more of a drift car in the current sense. It's a bit more of a middle ground, so it drifts a lot because as I will get to in the handling video, there are a few issues with the handling that kind of make life not as easy as it could be when you want to grip. But as I said, we'll get into that shortly, and I did give feedback to Ghost. Don't you worry. You know I'm already on that feedback game. I'm early on the feedback game. Anyway, one thing I love about the nighttime races, obviously all the views of this demo that we've had are in the wet. And the game isn't always just wet, it's just it looks best when it's wet. It gives you that good sense of speed and also falling off a bridge. Now, to be fair, I did this exact same thing when it was my run as well. But anyway, as I was saying, games use wet to make it look like it's better than it actually is, but realistically, the game looks great as is. This is not the final version of the game. It's not going to be the final graphics of the game. It already looks great. I think, in fact, it looks better than a lot of the gameplay trailer did. That we saw a couple of weeks back, so a few days ago. We got so much Need for Speed content in such a short period of time. It's actually insane. Anyway, this is a race where the police get involved in. Again, it's a demo to just demonstrate. It's kind of like the Forza demos where you pretty much try everything. It gives you everything, and once you've done that, that's what you got to look forward to. It's pretty much showing you customized day, night, cops, end. It gave you a piece of everything, and it did that pretty well. I just wish there was some performance customization that we could have done. That would have made life so much easier to demonstrate how the handling properly worked. But as said, at the time, I think this was at least a 2 to 4 month old demo. Not exactly sure where, but I'm assuming more so older than newer. Because if it's 4 months old, that would mean to me that this was going to be the demo for E3. Hence why it's a little bit of an old boy. It's not that old, honestly. 4 months is, in game development, that's not a long time. I mean, it is. Depends where you're looking at it. Anyway, so yeah, the Porsche handles pretty good. It's not something I would recommend for anyone that's trying to drift specifically. There's a much better drift cars, but all of which cars with a high amount of power seem to drift a lot as long as it wasn't all-wheel drive. Because all-wheel drive, it gives you more of a power slide, and there's a difference now. There's more of a defined difference, which I'm going to get into a little bit more in the handling video. But I want to show you the big wang and the wheel poke. The wheel poke gets me. I just wish one thing I would like to see is, instead of just moving the tires out, actually wider tires. Wider tires are so much cooler. Can you imagine how wide these tires would be? They would be double what they are as a standard. They would be truck tires, dually tires, but actually just a single tire. It would look amazing, and it would, I don't think it would actually really affect the performance because it's Need for Speed, but it would just look so much better. Again, these tires aren't particularly thin. It's more of an issue when the tires are really wide. But that's something I would like to see on Need for Speed. Tire width. Not spacers, tire width. I want to see tire width more than I do spacers. Anyway, so this he got away from them right at the end of the event, so he jumps back in to get into a pursuit with the police. It's a bit cheeky, a little bit cheeky. And they struggle at the beginning. I feel like the police are going to be, when it comes to low end, when you first start a pursuit, they're going to be pretty basic to get away from, should I say, like it is in Need for Speed 2015. If you drove really quickly, you would lose them pretty quickly. And I think that's what it's going to be like in the daytime with one police car. And maybe even the nighttime on heat level 1, you can probably escape them pretty easily. But if they do see you again at night, they will continue to come after you. That's the difference between day and night as far as I am aware. And he got smashed in by a rhino. The frame rate is struggling a little bit now. I say the frame rate is struggling. The frame rate is running fine. It's got this weird slowdown. But this was recorded at 4K on a PS4 Pro in an early development build. So I've got to give the benefit of the doubt there. I've seen much worse, to be completely honest with you. But no, Porsche, good car. Hopefully you agree. We've got a whole bunch of Need for Speed Heat content on the channel. Hopefully you haven't missed any. If you have, there's a playlist you can go and check everything out that we've covered so far with Need for Speed Heat, the demo we have available to us. We're going to be posting a heck of a lot more over the next few weeks to months leading up to the release, where we're going to hammer you with content for Need for Speed Heat. So be sure to stay tuned in, my friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to smash like, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.